you know your history about Planned Parenthood. Do you know about Planned Parenthood?
Tell me about Planned Parenthood.
Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger, the whole reason for Planned Parenthood was to sterilize black people so they wouldn't reproduce. So that they can bring martial law. That's what's really going on. I know for a fact. I've seen these socialists in your group. I've seen them at rallies. They even make signs for you people. And you don't understand what's going on. You have to open your eyes. You better be smart. Education has taught you guys that you're following the controlled media, that whoever they demonize, you just automatically follow. And that's what education does for you. Then we need to change it. Because you shouldn't be like that. You should be free thinkers and you should be able to see right from wrong. You don't? Because you're following whoever someone gets on TV and says, this is so, and then you just follow it? That's not using your head. That's not being smart. People, wake up. Be smart. Okay? You want to be logical. You want to be smart. Be smart. But don't follow all this nonsense just because you want to be. There's so many people that supported Trump, but they were afraid to openly support him. But you know when they supported him? In the voting booth. And that's what all of you people didn't understand. A lot of people supported Trump, but they were afraid. They're even your friends, but they were afraid to tell you they supported him. And you know what? When they went to the voting booth, they voted for him. And that's where that's where all of you people right now, all of you people are now shocked because you couldn't believe that he could be elected, because nobody thought he would have been elected. But guess what? He is elected, and he is our president. And you need to unite behind him now, because you know what? If you continue to do what you're doing, you are going to divide this country. You are going to bring about martial law. You're going to lose your rights. You're going to lose your freedoms. And then your biggest fear, he will be a dictator then. You better be smart, people. You don't understand what's about ready to happen. Wake up and be smart.
All right, that was at the Women's March in Los Angeles last Saturday. 800-941-SEAN, our toll-free telephone number, and that became a viral sensation. The person that was there and arguing, by the way, a lot of what he said about Margaret Sanger, we've discussed. Many people don't know the history of Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood. His name is Big Joe. He joins us on our Newsmaker line. This is an interview that he did with Jeffrey Mark Klein, co-founder, editor-in-chief of Based in L.A., and Tim Stabers is his name, is co-founder, creative director of Based in L.A. Welcome, both of you, and Big Joe, to the program.
Thank you for having us.
Well, Big Joe, I mean, you've become like a YouTube sensation. What do you think of the reaction to all that?
It's amazing. This is totally unexpected. It was something that I never expected any of this to ever come about, let alone even be in the midst of all of that, you know. It's just amazing. It's almost like a dream.
Yeah. Why did you decide to go down there?
I wasn't actually that area is an area that I used to live in, and so I have a lot of business in that area, but that's my normal way. This particular march happened to be very big, and I actually brought the bike because I knew that transportation would not be feasible. And so, therefore, I knew I was gonna, in order for me to get around, I would have to use the bike. And I was going to the metro train, and that was what I was doing. I was just going through, and it was just so interesting how, you know, when these guys came up to me and said, "Oh, you know, what do you here?" I'm like, I have nothing to do with this place, because anybody who knows me knows that that's the last place that I would have been, especially on that day.
Let's talk a little bit about Planned Parenthood and Margaret Sanger. I mean, she was well known in what's known as the eugenics movement, and had very racist things to say, and as an advocate of abortion, clearly had plans to use it as a means of decreasing the black population.
Yeah, very much so. And I did some research, and I've seen the video, and her statements are definitely what you would call politically incorrect in this day and age. And I found it very, very interesting that these people who are advocating for, calling Trump a racist and talking about, we need to be against racism and this stuff, and yet they're promoting this particular this organization, which I said, this is such a conflict of interest or, it didn't make sense. And I said these people, if they knew what they were doing, they obviously wouldn't do it anymore. So,
some of her quotes were called some people human weeds, reckless breeders on immigrants and indigents, and spawning human beings who never should have been born. She talked about racial purification, that, she believed for the purpose of that, couples should be rewarded who choose sterilization. She talked a lot about, for example, all these other things. We don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members. But obviously she's thinking about it. I mean, that's pretty sick stuff.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, she said some very inflammatory, offensive. That's why I was very, very disgusted. And, when you're trying to defend this, absolutely not. No way. Absolutely not. This woman is unacceptable. Her organization is unacceptable. And to be truthfully honest with you, I would love to see the total end and destruction of Planned Parenthood. And hopefully with this video going viral and even on your show, that people would understand that this organization should never continue to continue. I don't care what they do. It's just like, that's just like saying, the Ku Klux Klan, they may have started bad, but now they got some nice clinics where they help a lot of people and minorities. I don't want it. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Let me bring on Jeffrey and Tim here. And why don't you tell us from your perspective what happened and how you met Big Joe?
Yeah, if this is Jeffrey. Hi, Sean.
Hi.
We were going down to the Women's March just to film some man-on-the-street interviews, see if anybody there could tell us why people were marching, because it seemed very disorganized, ideas all over the place.
Right.
And while I was talking to other people, Tim noticed Big Joe, talked to him a little bit, and then instantly just yelled, "Jeffrey, get over here, talk to this guy." Rushed me over, and then everything that happened after that, you saw.
How many hits do we know you've already received? I know it's been in a number of different places, so you may not have a definitive number, but what do you know? How many people viewed this?
Hi, Sean. This is Tim. The original YouTube posting, I think, is up to about 500,000, but there was two organizations, one the Millennial Post, and then Milo Yiannopoulos, who I think some people might be familiar with, both reposted it, and I think combined altogether it's up over 27 million times, I think, on Facebook between those two postings.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. What do you think the average person has any idea about Margaret Sanger, who she is? Now, I'm sure Planned Parenthood today would say, well, we don't endorse or support those views, but is there a disproportionate number of abortions in inner cities, in the black community and Hispanic community? Because she talks at length about these issues, immigrants, indigents, etc.
Sure. One of the things that statistics are readily available online, but we know that the black community is, about 15% of the U.S. population, and they make up for 30% of all abortions, because Planned Parenthoods are predominantly in black neighborhoods, not just poor neighborhoods like they claim to be in. So that's one of the...
It's so sad, because we're talking about great human potential, and, her comments, well, those of us who believe that the benefits of Planned Parenthood is a vital key to the elimination of human waste must reach the entire population, and also believe that a double effort must be made to extend this program, quote, as a public health measure to, her words, Negroes who need it in proportionality greater. Wow. That's about as racist as anything I've heard. Big Joe, we'll give you the last word here, buddy.
Oh man. Well, you know what? I hope that this educated situation, this viral video, and this lesson in Planned Parenthood and the origins of Margaret Sanger will educate the people, because not only the people at the march, but the American people at the whole, and realize that sometimes people could be supporting a cause and totally be oblivious to the hidden agenda behind the cause.
Well, we know this is like Abortion Inc. They say they offer women's services and they don't, and we have videos that have exposed that. But I've got to let you all go. Big Joe, God bless you, and thank you for having the courage of your convictions, and you should be very proud, because your statements, your speech went viral, and a lot of people heard it, and I think it had a big impact. And Jeffrey and Tim, thank you both for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sean.